Hello everyone, welcome to the Maker Nerd, and my name is Diana, and today we're going to be playing around with some card making. So, let's jump right into it and get started. So first we're going to go into Cricut Design Space. So what you see here, I've already imported all of the files, and I can definitely show you how to do that. I'm just going to hit save on this, and I see that it's already saved, so that's good. And so I'm just going to take a quick look at my text to see what text I'm using. And so then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say new. So I bought this particular cut file from Dreaming Tree. It's called the Gatefold Greetings SVG Bundle. And I downloaded all of that by clicking this. It comes up and I downloaded it to my computer, as you can see here. And so we save that, we unzip it. So then once we're over back in our creative design space, we have to go into upload. And when we say upload an image and we hit browse, we go and we find where we saved that particular file at. And I always put these things in SVG folders. I really like a lot of the SVG files that this particular company creates, so I went ahead and gave them their own folder, and here are all of the ones we're doing. I chose the floral one. There's the picture for the floral, so we're going to have something that kind of sort of looks similar to this, but we're going to be using some different cardstock that I don't know if it's going to work or not, but hey. So once you've got them uploaded, then you just come back over to images and you say filter by the ones that I have uploaded. And then you see what you have. And when you click one, you can see that down here it pops up. So Design Space is updated now to where you can go ahead and select all the files you want. Now I'm not going to grab this file because it's actually the same as this file. The only difference is this one gives you the flap that goes inside of your envelope. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to say insert images. And so they're all just going to pile in here one on top of the other. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out some on my design space. And I'm just going to go ahead and start moving these out of the way. Now what you probably noticed on what I had up and what I've got saved already is that there was actually writing on the inside of the card on this piece right here. So now I'm going to go ahead and zoom back in so we can look at this piece right here. So this is actually going to lay inside of this piece right here. It's going to glue to the inside. So I decided what I wanted to do is I wanted to go ahead and write my Mother's Day sentiment in there. And I actually wanted to do it instead of with a write file, I wanted to do a cut file so that the color that I'm using underneath actually comes through, if that makes sense to you. So I decided to go ahead and choose the sentiment that I wanted. So all you have to do is go to text and you write your sentiment here. Let me see if I can find the one that I was using earlier and see if I can just copy and paste it. I changed it a little bit. Here we go. Let's see if it'll let me copy this one. So I'm just going to do Control C because I'm not on my Mac. I'm on a laptop, and Control V. So there it is. And what I did, because I wanted a colon there, and I did that. And instead of us, your, I put us. If I could spell that correctly, but to us was a comma. Okay, so I've got that on 2 lines now. Now I know it's showing as one full line down here, and we'll play with that in a second, and I'll show you how to fix that. But that's what we want. So we're going to go ahead and click off, and now we've got it right here. Oh, it is showing on 2 lines. Yay! going to go ahead and reduce the size of that drastically. And I've still got it locked. Right, so now we see that it's actually going to fit on here, which is great. I'm going to undo that. It's really hard to select these files and get them to move. I'm going to zoom way in, scroll down so that I can actually get on. There we go. And I'm just going to use my arrow keys to move that up. Obviously that's too far. So now I wanted a cut file. So I came over here and I clicked on this and I filtered by single layer. And so what you'll see when you do that is it'll tell you that it's a single layer cutting or writing. And that's what we want to know. Is it a single layer cutting file? So I'm just going to look. It wasn't an Adobe, I don't believe. If I can kind of remember what it looked like. Here it is. So it's the Arioso Com Regular, and it's a single layer cutting file. So I'm going to go ahead and click that, and that's going to change our font, right? Good. So that in and of itself looks pretty good, but I'm still not quite happy. So I want the lines to be separated because I want this to be centered in the card. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to say under Advanced, I'm going to say Ungroup to Lines. So now I've got two separate lines, and this is going to help us do this. So I want to unlock it because I want the font to be a little taller than what it's looking like right now. So that, maybe that right there. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to zoom way in again so that I can click that bottom line right there. Now I'm actually going to move that bottom line down, and I'm going to say, going to unlock it again up here at the top, and I'm going to say make that one a little taller too. Okay, so now they're both there. But as you can see, they're still not centered in any way, shape, or form on our back stage here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull off. You can see my mouse over here going round and round perhaps. It's kind of hard to see that though, isn't it? I probably need to make my mouse bigger. Can we do that really quick? Oh, I keep forgetting this is a Windows machine. Well, we'll do it later. I'm just going to click off away from everything and hold, and then I'm going to drag, and I'm just going to grab, actually let's do this. Let's grab both lines. So now we've grabbed the background and both lines, and we're going to say align it, center horizontal. And see, now it has moved it according to center of the back, side to side. So now that looks pretty good. I think I'm going to move this line up just a hair more, if it'll let me grab it. Let me see, let me zoom in. I have not, oops, that was a right mouse click for some reason, sorry about that. There we go. Gonna move it up just a hair. Is that enough? Do I want to go a little, let's go like that, and let's move this one up. So you to grab things that are actually on your card, you can sometimes arrange and bring to front, but see, they're already in the front because they're actually showing on top of this, right? So you just have to enlarge it enough to where you can get your mouse over the black of the lettering and you can select it. So I think I like that. Okay, so now we want to go ahead and we want to add some more text. And I'm going to say happy. And that's a really big happy. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to grab it and we're going to bring it down. And we're going to move it like right here. And we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. We're going to click off to the side, drag and grab the background as well as that line. And we're going to go ahead and say align horizontally. And it moves. And then we're going to add a little more text. And we're going to say Mother's Day. And we're going to resize that. Way down some more. And then we're gonna bring it down some. Bring it over. I want that to be larger. I do, however, want to have enough room. Perhaps, maybe not. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click off and hold. Grab the background and the lettering. You can see that box. I'm going to let go. And I'm going to come up and say, there, it barely moved. It was pretty much center anyway. So now if we zoom out on this, that is how I got the sentiment on the inside of that card. But now look, I want to show you what's going to happen if we say make it, because this is something that really confuses people, and I totally understand. So we're going to ignore these first couple of mats, and I'll show you. These are the score lines. This mat right here, the square, this is the score lines for the envelope, which is all the way down here. Clearly it does not do us any good to have the score lines separated from the envelope. And I'll show you how we're going to fix that in a second. But right now we're going to scroll down here to the mat that we're looking at. And you can see there's our background, but there's nothing on it. And if we look even further, these are their inside flaps. Is it right here? Yeah, there's, you know, what good is it going to do us to cut that out there? No, it's not going to do us any good at all. So when this happens, see, you can click make it and not worry about actually making it. So we're going to go ahead and click cancel. And now we're going to click off one more time. And we're going to grab everything. I'm going to do that one more time just to make sure. You can see how the blue box has grabbed everything. And I'm going to say attach. Now look how it changes what the font looks like. Now you can see how it is going to actually cut out. Now if you go over here and click make it, you still have our score lines. I'll show you how to fix that in just a second. But now we don't have that black mat anymore, and when we go down here and look at the background, we can see that everything is there. So we're going to go ahead and cancel that. Now, we're going to scroll way back over here. We're going to zoom out some so that we can kind of move things around. So see here, clearly we can move our envelope and the score lines move with it. So sometimes when you buy files like this, they're not... Sometimes you just have to be cognizant of what's going on when you click make it, and oh, my score lines for some reason aren't attached to the actual envelope. I wonder why that is. So just click off somewhere, grab everything, make sure every score line is grabbed in some way, and click attach. When you do that, and now you come over here and you click make it, don't worry about these score lines yet, we'll get there. But now when we look at our envelope, ta-da, our score lines are back. So what else has score lines? Well, I bet it's this one right here. This is going to have to fold. So this is where our other score lines are missing from. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to say, nope, still not ready. Let's cancel that. And we're going to cancel it. And we see right here, there's the score lines. We're just going to click. Well, hold on. We're going to click off. We're going to grab... I'm going to go ahead and click even further off just to make sure. Grab everything, and we're going to click attach. Great. Now when we go to click make it, ta-da! I hope. See, our score lines are back where they're supposed to be. Our envelope has its score lines. We have all of our writing on the background like we're supposed to have. And these are the inside panels. So, we're actually going to come up here and we're just going to make mat 1 first, if that makes sense. We're not going to worry about making the envelope. And in fact, because I had already done this morning, let's go ahead and go back. We're just going to click to My Projects. And we're going to go ahead and click that one. And we're going to say customize it. We're going to replace the one that we were just working on. So here's the one that I was working on this morning. So it pretty much looks identical to what we did. I just know that this one is showing up the way I want it to. When I click make it, my score lines are still attached, just like we saw on the other one. Our sentiment is right where it needs to be. And there are the panels that are going to be on the back side. We're going to glue those to the back side of this. So I'm going to go ahead and grab, I'm going to move the computer out of the way a little bit. I'm going to turn on my Cricut. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move this over here, about like that. We're going to switch cameras really quick. So here's the Cricut machine, as you can see. Yep, got on my Batman comfy. And we're going to be doing some really intricate cutting with this. And so I bought this new blade. I'll show it to you right here. And it is a fine tip, and it's supposed to be for this type of cutting. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to pop out. This is really easily done. See, this is the old housing. We're going to cut open the new one. In fact, I'm going to just take this and open this up. I have a deep cut one in there as well. We're just going to close that so we don't lose it. Got my handy dandy blade here. So I'm just going to go ahead and I went ahead as well, and anytime these are on sale with Cricut, and they go on sale pretty frequently. So anytime these go on sale, I pick up at least an extra blade because it never hurts to have blades. Half the time you cut and it's not cutting like you want it to, but you don't have the extra blade, so you're kind of stuck with what you're doing. Just makes you really upset. So the blade on this one also is like a gold tip, as well as the housing that's gold. Man, the plastic they put this stuff in is so hard to manipulate. Oh, finally. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to remove the cover. And there's the blade itself. I don't know if you can see that. Woohoo! It's not focusing. Very small, and I'm just going to take the housing and pop it down in there. To get your blade back out, you just push the little plunger, and then that allows you to take hold of it and not cut yourself. Alright, so there's the blade. Going to go ahead and pop that into our machine. Close that. And I know that we're going to need the scoring tool on this, so I'm going to go ahead and get it out. You see you have these arrows on your, these are both on the scoring tool and on Cricut pins. So you just line that arrow up with the front of your machine, kind of press up on this, click, and then close. Alright, so we know we're set there. So let me get rid of some of this trash. Right over in the trash bag there. For now, I'm just going to slide that into our drawer. I'm going to put up my heavy-duty Stanley knife. Get it back out of the way. You can probably hear my dogs outside barking. Need my computer to stay there, so let me grab my... Is it here, or is it... Okay, so my mat is up there. Let me grab my mat really quick. Come on, Matt. Got another mat hanging. There we go. Didn't want to go back up there. Okay, so we're going to switch back to the desktop here really quick. Going to take the cover off. I'm going to take this blue paper, which is going to be, just going to crease that down. It's got perforated edges from where it came out of the bundle that it was in. Just gonna... Usually when my dogs bark like that, it's because the next door neighbor dogs have come out to play. So I'm going to go ahead and put that back on there. Line it up, get it fairly straight. I'm going to move the camera here just a smidge if it will let me without too much difficulty, so that you can see more desk space and less. There we go. So yeah, that lined up. I'm just going to press it down really good. Alright, so this is fairly lightweight cardstock, so I'm going to come over here to my machine and I'm going to change my dial to light cardstock. And I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to say continue. And now it's going to look for my machine. There it is. On the Mac it does that automatically. And for some reason it thinks there are two machines and there really aren't. So it already knows that the dial is set. Load the fine point blade, which we know we already have. And it's telling us to go ahead and load it. So we're going to come over here. We're going to hold it. We're going to push the load button. And it's loaded. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to press go for it. Okay, let's go back over here and let's see how effective. Oh, this looks nice. Go ahead and grab my thing here. Yeah, it looks like it cut through really, really nicely. So that's good. So I had Charlene come in. This is the problem. So I buy cardstock often when it's on sale. And I also buy cardstock often when I can find it on someplace like Craigslist or Let Go, where somebody has either gotten out of scrapbooking, or sometimes they're even just cleaning out estates and they're selling cardstock perfectly good. Often it's pieces that were bought individually, and they're selling it at really, good prices. And so I'll tend to buy thin, and that's great, except it tends to give you a lot of choices when it comes to choosing what you want this to look like. I'm sorry, so I'm just pulling off this flap that we'll be using later to glue to the envelope. Nice. Setting it over there. Here comes the moment of truth. To see just how well. So I'm just kind of, right, this is actually This is actually not bad. Alright, so I am impressed with the blade that I bought. Kind of pleased that I went ahead and made that purchase. I just want to be really careful and not rip any of these little intricate pieces. So this is where, for me, it's handy to turn it over and get it started by rolling it. The mats that I'm currently using here are extremely old, and the last time I did this when I was making a card, my mat snapped in two. So let's try not to have that same thing happen. I like doing it this way though because it tends to not roll the cardstock material. And look at that. Is that not gorgeous? This one didn't do quite as well, but it's not that it didn't cut through. It's just all falling out as I pick it up. Wow, see? Just fell out. Wow, is that not absolutely gorgeous? I love that. I love that. I love that. Hold on just a second. Okay, so now that we've got that, I have this pearlesque, I guess you would call it, type of stuff, and I wanted this to look kind of springy, and I think that, I just asked Charlene too, and I think that's going to look, I think I'm going to like that. And I went ahead, I wanted the texture side of this card. I don't know that you can see how it's textured. Like on this side, it's very smooth. On this side, it's a little textured. These cut marks that act as score marks, as you can see, work really well. Just like that, just like that. And so, let me go ahead and put the card off to the side for now, along with the flap that we're going to be needing. Here is the extra cardstock. The reason I have a really hard time throwing this kind of stuff away is because when I was looking for cardstock today, I took out a little piece. I took out a whole piece, not a little piece. I took out a whole piece, and in the very corner, there had been a little arrow cut out of it from another card that I made. So I hate wasting that kind of stuff because I know that it's going to come in handy someplace else. I also hate wasting these things. I think they are so pretty. But really, what can you gonna, I mean, what are you going to do with that, right? So let's just go ahead for now, getting them scooched off the mat onto the other mat. I see a piece jumped over here onto the keyboard. And so now I know that I'm not going to cut the card right now, the envelope I meant. I'm going to go ahead and put this on. Get it lined up in my corners pretty good. And voila. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and smooth that out. Smooth that out. And it's got a bump under there. I wonder what that is. Yep, it's a little blue dot. Come here, little blue dot. Okay, there we go. Kind of had a feeling that's what that was. Get over there. So the next thing it says that we need to make is it wants to cut the envelope. But we don't want to cut the envelope. We want to cut this right here. Okay, so this is what we're going to cut. So we're going to take and we're going to load. We're going to switch back over here. And we're going to, because there's nothing intricate about this, just going to go ahead and pull this off. Like so. Without rolling it or messing it up. Okay, there we go. And we're going to go ahead and take this. Here we go. That's what I love about this extra wide fancy dancy tool that I bought here that costs like $1.99 or something at Ace Hardware or someplace. Is that it's got a really nice beveled edge, which you probably can't see, but yeah, you can. Let you get under that stuff really, really easily. Okay, so I think that has that. And now I'm going to take the same piece that we just had. I've got my fingers crossed here. I'm going to lay it back down here. Smooth it back on. And then I'm going to come back over to my computer. So see, I'm just kind of picking and choosing what I want to cut when. I'm going to say, this is now what I want to cut. Make sure mirror is turned on and material is placed shiny side down. That's because it thinks we have it on an iron-on, which we don't. It's just, this material is so thin. Okay, so we're going to come back over here. Trying to retain any of the little pieces that might have gone missing. And let's look over here. Alright, so let me grab a pair of tweezers. Let's grab just the regular tweezers. So here is an internal piece of something. Well, here, the whole A came out. Can you all see that? I mean, that's the whole friggin' A. Well, it looks like we got another one here that did the exact same thing. Here's a little piece of the internal piece of an E. So yeah, here's another internal piece of an E. The O stayed where it was supposed to. Let's go ahead and pop this out and just see what it looks like. Right? It may look okay because it's going to be on top of another color. I don't know. Okay. My gut instinct is saying probably not. On the plus side, the blade itself did really, really nice. It didn't mangle. The D stayed because it's got a little bit of intact piece there. W mangled just a little bit for some reason. Yank that off like a band-aid. You see that I've got a T still hanging in here too. There we go. Let's see what's going on up here with this W. Pull that out. Alright, so now if we set this off to the side, first I want to look. No. Because of the border, possibly. I might could get another piece out of this if I put it on very carefully. So see, I mean, I've got some of my pieces. I've got, you know, the internals to the P's and the A and the O and the A here and the E. So on the bigger stuff, and even on some of the smaller stuff, I have some of the internals. It's mainly on the E's and the A's that I don't. Alright, so let's grab our card, bring it over here, and this is what it would look like if we glued that down just like that. Let me see if I can zoom in here a little bit. Oops, that's going the wrong direction. That more there. So now you can kind of see what I'm up against. I don't know. Like I said, I can get this, and that E. So all of these I can get and glue back in. It's these up here. I mean, I do have some of them. I'm not as worried about the E's. The A, the D, the O's. They're the ones that probably make it look a bit strange. Okay, so that's a decision that will have to be made. So basically the card is done. The next step would just be creating the envelope, and that's just cutting it out. And I'm probably going to replace those cut lines with actual score lines, solid score lines, because it is an envelope. I don't know, we'll have to see. But yeah, I'm liking it. I just can't decide what to do about this. I think here's what we're going to do first. We're going to do a test. So I'm going to just set that off to the side. I am going to grab my thing here. I need to keep as many of these pieces as I can. So let me zoom back out. Okay. So I need to keep these pieces. So let me get my tweezers. Right. If I can keep them whole. Well, I had an idea of keeping it whole, but maybe I still can. Wow, tweezers. Work for me, please. Thank you. Whoop! And then my big old sweatshirt sleeve. So that's the part of the O. Let's see if we can get the E. There's the E, and here's the inside of the E that I just dropped. Why? Because it's just not wanting to cooperate. So we'll put that there. So this is why I don't often, like hardly ever, like read never, do it this way. If you get any smaller than what you're seeing right here with the Happy Mother's Day, then your blade is just as likely to pick up and carry around those internal pieces, which in turn causes you grief if it decides to not cut, get in the way of the actual cutting, which it often does. So I'm going to go ahead and grab all these little pieces off, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got those off. Kind of got them sitting over here next to the, off to the side, just in case we decide to go that route. But now what I'm looking at is, I'm getting some more of this stuff off here clearly. That just popped over to this side and decided to hang out. This little flexible Cricut spatula works really well though. So what I was looking at is that from there to there is what, 5 and 1/8, I guess. And I don't have, so here's what we're going to do. And this may likely fail miserably, but I'm going to take this off. I'm not too terribly worried about this part up here, because I'm going to turn it. But in doing so, I'm going to try and mess with it a little bit. Put it right on that mark where it normally keeps that as a buffer. We're going to try. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this. Okay, I'm not overly crazy about that color. Let's try this gold that I have here. How about this? How does this look on it? Oh yeah, that's the winner right there. Okay, so this is a gold. Is we're going to say cancel. And yes, we're sure we want to cancel. Okay, that's alright that it kicked it back out. And we're going to come back over here. And we're going to choose the font. And you see where it has a cut symbol. We're going to take it and we're going to say right. And we're going to choose the gold tip. Is this a gold tip? Oh. Just says medium tip 1 gold. Okay. Medium tip. Alright, so we're just going to choose that then. And anything that is a font that is a cut, we're going to now change to a right. Change it to a right. And change it to a right. Okay, good. Perfect. Alright, we're going to go ahead and we're going to click Make It. Obviously, we're not going to start back with the card because we've already done that. We're going to move down here to the Draw and Cut. And we're going to keep our fingers crossed that we have given it enough leeway on that left-hand side. We're going to say continue, select device, there we go. It's a very lightweight cardstock, so we're going to ignore it when it says to mirror because we're not actually doing vinyl. Okay, you see our load light flashing, we're going to load it. Now I don't want my pin drying out, so I'm going to go ahead and pop that out. Sometimes you tend to forget that stuff. Put it back. Okay, now, whoops. Okay, so let's come back over here. And so now, I could use just a little bit bigger desk. I think I'm just going to take that gold pin. I'm just going to get that dog hair out of the way. I'm just, well, I love the way that dries. For a minute there I was like, whoa, did I get the right pin? But I did. Just trying to fill in a little. Right? We all love to color. So that's basically what I'm doing. I'm just coloring. Just a little bit of coloring. So now you've seen what it looks like to try and cut the letters out so that the color from behind pops through, and what it looks like to go ahead and do it this way. We're still going to have some of that color pop through because of the what's cut out up here. So I think that's going to be okay. Just filling in a few more little areas. But I really like how this is looking. Yeah, I think that's pretty much got that covered. So we're going to go ahead and take this off. We've had some trial and errors with this. Okay, set that off to the side. Go ahead and grab the edge here. Since it's such a small piece, it should just pop right on out of there. Perfect. Okay, set put our thing on it. I have found that working in here in my room versus working out in like the living area, which is where I used to do all my work, it's definitely cut down on the dog hair. Okay, so we've got this version. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay. There you go. So we've got that version where we could maybe possibly fill that stuff in. And we've got this version where you've already got the blue still showing through at the top. I like that. I think I like that a lot. Okay, excellent. So I will be able to get rid of all my little internal A's and O's over here. Put those up there with the rest of it. Get that kind of out of our way. Okay, we're back. We're going to get to doing some gluing here. We have our panels that we need to glue in. We need to get rid of this one. So I want to go ahead and glue in these panels before I glue in the main body part here, simply because it'll give this a little more strength. So I have some special glue here. It's called art glitter glue. Let me make sure that there's not, and there is. Let me go ahead and, there we go. Go ahead and take this off of our glue. Practically anybody I watch on YouTube uses this art glitter glue, so I'm fairly confident in its superb ability. Okay. And probably can't tell, but the tip on this is kind of big, so I bought a different tip to use on this little fine card stuff that is often when you need to use this kind of thing. So let me quickly get this open. You know, nothing in crafting happens quickly. We say that just to give people hope that something will actually happen quickly, but it never does, so give it up. Okay. Here we go. And go ahead and throw that away. This little tip, I think it's less than $5. But it is great when it comes to getting into these smaller areas that are going to need to be glued. Put those back up. And it just fits over top of that one. Like so. Okay, so first things, we're going to make sure that we know which side we're doing. Right? Okay, perfect. So we're going to want to take our glue and we're going to want to get in. Woo! Okay, got carried away there. Didn't know it was going to come out that quickly. My bad. Just want to, because if these things stick up, they're just going to get caught on your envelope and just not going to be all that great. Oops. Wipe that off. Oop. Got a little carried away there, but that's okay. The other great thing about this glue is that it dries clear. I can tell you right now that it does not take a lot of pressure on this little bottle to get this glue flowing. I think we pretty much, and the thing is it kind of dries quick. So that's going to go like that. Let's go ahead and let's just run it around the outside here. As close as we can. to the actual design. I can see that a lot of this glue has already started to dry, so let's do that. I probably just knocked something off, and that's okay. This glue is kind of forgiving, so it does kind of let you scooch it around a little bit if you need to. But I think that glued great. Me and this sweatshirt are not getting along today, so. Oh yeah, that looks good. And like I said, it dries clear, so if any of it seeps out, don't worry about it. It will dry clear and you'll be good. Wipe it off there as much as I can. Okay, so we're just going to start down here. I certainly don't want to glue the other side of my card though too, right? To my mat. So I'll just be quiet here for a second while I glue this, which for me is not typically an issue. Being quiet, that is. I'm really good at it most of the time. Except perhaps when you're in a hurry to do something. And I know that it's probably already drying in other places. Okay. Just don't want it to glue to that. Run it around the outside here really quick before everything starts drying up on us. Maybe go back and get some of those little places. Okay, close enough. Okay. Now we know why it came with a little pin. Okay. Alright, that is looking perfect. Now then, to put this in, what you don't want to do is you don't want to put a lot of glue really here. You want to do it on the back of this so that when you flip it over so that you don't have glue where you don't need glue, basically. So let's go ahead and there we go. It can be a little hard to get it started. But I gotta tell you, I'm super glad that I bought this tip. This could have been a panic for me. And now I'm just gonna run a really quick bead all the way around. All the way around. Not getting too close to the edge simply because if it squirts out, you don't want it. Alright, maybe just a little bit in the center to get it to stick down nicely. Alright, okay, let's pick that up, bring it over here. Try to avoid getting glue on our hands. Move it kind of into the position that we want it. And wipe the glue off our hands onto our pants, any place but the card. It will dry clear, so just kind of dab up any places that come out. Okay. Just going to go ahead and, that is not going to work. That is not going to work. Take the pin. that off, put that back on. And voila. Next time I use this glue, I don't think I'll need my little metal tip. I'm just going to put all that back in its container. No way to hang that up there now, so I will just drop it down in there, set the glue off to the side, grab something to drink. Make sure this is glued down okay. So, to the world you are a mother, to us you are the world. Happy Mother's Day. I'm just gonna wow, I have to say, I'm really liking that. That's looking really nice. Okay, be right back with doing the envelope. Okay, we're back. The last thing I had to decide was what color to make the envelope. And I do believe now that I have that decision made. I'm going to go with a nice yellow since this is going to be behind the flap with this same little design on it. I'm going to go ahead and scooch all of this off to the side. Grab my other spatula. You know, I'm fortunate that I have a space that I can do this, but sometimes my little drafting table, when I have a computer on it and 12 by 12 mats and all this other kind of stuff, often feels a wee bit small, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So, I'm going to go ahead and put that there. Perfect. Smooth that down nice. Open up the old Cricut over here again. Smooth that down nice. Come over here. Turn that a little bit. Okay, now on the computer, the last thing that we've yet to do is to cut out our envelope. And we're going to go ahead and change this back to a light cardstock now, since we're done with that other paper. And we're going to go ahead and load. And we're going to go ahead and... So here's my hesitation about cutting. I have wondered if I should attempt to write the address on the actual card. So let's go back. Let's do this. Let's hit cancel and say yes. And yes, it's going to spit our mat back out at us. And let's go find the card. So here is the part. If this is the envelope that's going to fold over, then the address would go here, kind of upside down. So let's take this and let's turn it to where it looks more like we need it to look to actually write on it. Does that make sense? So I know why it's not turning any further than this. Yeah. Alright, we're going to have to undo, and here's why. Okay, good. I think that's as far. Yeah, so let's go ahead and redo that. At least we get a pretty good idea. We can curve the text the way we want to. So let's put text. And on my cards, I always like to put Okay, so I'm going to do this, but I'm not going to do it on camera, simply because I don't want everybody or anybody to have my mom's address. So let me do this, and we'll be back. Okay, we're back here at our Make It screen. So we've already made this part. We're going to go ahead and move to this part. And we're going to go ahead and insert. We'll say continue. And we'll select our Cricut again. We've got our dial set to the light cardstock. And it's now connected. We're going to hit load. And it's going to say to press go. Huh. It's going to score first. And the way that I know it's going to score first is if I look over here on the left-hand side, it says score, draw, cut. And this time it really is going to score because I changed those lines from little cut lines to actual score lines. Select the device. I don't know why it thinks there are two. I need to get rid of that other one if possible. We need to get this project done because the battery's running low on the computer. Perfect. We're going to score, draw, cut. So we're going to load. And amazes me how this pen can draw. So now it's actually going to cut our envelope out after all of that. And as you can see, it placed the envelope in such a angle, or at such an angle, so that it could fit the entire envelope on one 12 by 12 sheet of paper, which is what you want. Now it's going to cut out those small pieces that we're going to glue our flap to. I don't think I ever realized this machine beeped quite as much as it does. Alright, it's done. Let's switch back. Let's zoom out. Let's go ahead and take our pin out and cap it before we forget. Okay then. Put that there. I'm going to go ahead and close up the computer. We shouldn't be needing it anymore. I love, love, love. See if you all, you're not going to be able to see it. It's a sparkle. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. Hopefully we'll be able to. So what happens when your score lines don't show up well? Well, you kind of know where you need to score things anyway, and I can see enough of those score lines that I can take a handy dandy score tool. Perfect. Okay, I'm just gonna this that. I have not railed against dog or cat hair today. I feel like I'm losing out on something. I can actually see those score lines, so that's good. I'm just going to grab a ruler. Usually what I do is I find the score lines, set my ruler right at it, and bend it a little bit one way before I take it back the other way. See? And then I know when I come over here, pretty much where I want it at. I'm going to use this side though. Okay. Just push it up against that. Fold that in. Oh, I have no idea where that black came from, but that's likely going to be hidden, so I'm not going to worry about it. Oh, I do know where that came from too. It came from our address. I must have picked it up on the ruler. I have to try and be a wee bit more careful about that. This is really difficult to see, but I know it goes from corner to corner, right? Oops, corner to corner, right? Okay. Pick that up. Kind of push it. Okay. Come down here. And again, just a corner to corner kind of thing. Perfect. And last but not least is this piece, the big piece. And again, it is a corner to corner kind of thing. I guess this isn't last actually, because we got to get the top folded over too. Okay. Like that. Good. And then, last, but most importantly, is this little piece. The flap. Just give it a little bit of a square there. Come back over here. Hope that everything is still dry, or has dried. Alright, so everything has been scored, folded, all we have left to do. I do have a bone folder, by the way. And they can definitely have several bone folders, actually. So you can either use a bone folder for this to make sure that your scores are good and stay down nice and tight. Or you can use anything that'll work. There. Alright, so now all we have to do is glue this part in, which will go like this. Like so. So that it looks like that. Very nice. Again, we're going to use their glitter glue, although trust me, there is no glitter in it. And there are actually some fine pieces on here, so we'll put our fine tip back on. That we cleaned out. Okay. I like to start someplace big until I get some glue flowing. There we go. And kind of just get these little thin areas. Alright. And all around. Like so. A little bit there. And then we're just going to take it out like this. So that we get a good seal all the way around. And we're just going to set on there. Can move it a little bit if we need to. And that right there looks pretty darn good. Go ahead and dab it off over here. And we're gonna just kind of get an idea of where this needs to get glued. Put that in there. This as well, where it needs to get glued. Maybe up here a little bit, maybe a little further up here. Alright, we're just gonna do that. And with that, we have completed our Mother's Day card. This is the floral gate card. For clear reasons, it opens like a gate with their sentiment inside. We'll sign it on either side of here, and it will fit nicely then into our envelope, which has already been pre-addressed. Whoops, and a little smeared, but that's okay. Alright, thanks for watching.